Good afternoon, viewers. This is Sage live from 𝐊𝐿𝐴 studio and you're watching The Last Trade Show. Let us zoom our lens on the Australian share market's performance today. Well, the Australian shares are heading for a positive close on Wednesday, led by the strong rally in utility stocks, and adding to it, firm trading across consumer staples, material and energy space also supported the market. However, the market gains were capped by sharp losses in tech space, especially the buy now, pay later BNPL players, amid the concerns about the rising competition from PayPal and Apple. The S&P ASX 200 was up by 18 points, or 0.25%, at 7,350 at the close. And earlier today, the index opened on a flat note and gained as much as 0.5% to hit an intraday high of 7,368. The persistent concerns about the COVID-19 situation in the country, as well as renewed fears of faster than anticipated withdrawal of monetary accommodation by the US Federal Reserve, also dented market sentiments. And in a new development, the COVID lockdown affecting Greater Sydney and its surroundings has been extended until 11:59 p.m. on Friday, July 30th. The decision was taken to control the spread of the coronavirus after 97 new locally transmitted COVID-19 cases were recorded in New South Wales in the past 24 hours, compared to 89 registered on Tuesday. Moving on now to the sectoral space, the market breadth indicating the overall strength of the market was strong, and 10 of the 11 sectoral indices were trading in the green, with utilities leading from the front with over 3% gains, and some of the other top performing sectors were consumer staples, consumer discretionary, materials, energy and industrials. And on the flip side, the information technology sector was the worst performer, falling nearly 2%, tracking weak cues from the US counterpart Nasdaq. ASX-listed BNPL players witnessed sharp selling in the tech sector as fears of the stiff competition from the global players left investors jittery. The share price of Australia's largest BNPL firm, Afterpay Limited, fell 8.5%, down to $108 Australian in the opening trade. In a similar trend, 𝐊𝐴𝐴 Limited shares dropped nearly 9% to Australian $7.50, while shares of ASX-listed 𝐊𝐴𝐴 nosedived more than 9% to $8 Australian in the opening deals. The share price of Split Payments slipped 3.6% to 53.5 cents. And similarly, shares of other BNPL players such as Humm Group Limited and OpenPay Group Limited also witnessed the selling pressure. And on that note, let's turn our attention now to the biggest gainers and losers that gained investors' attention by the mid-market session. Crypto talk by 𝐊𝐴𝐴. The crypto market has been red hot given the Bitcoin rally since the past year. And now the most famous cryptocurrency has got competitors, Dogecoin and Ethereum. If the crypto market excites you, tune in with me, Sage, to know the latest developments about the existing digital currencies and the new ones that are joining the race. I'll help you understand the opportunities and the risks the crypto market has in store for you. For all the digital currency related developments, continue watching Crypto Talk by 𝐊𝐴𝐴. Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome back. I'm Sage and you're watching 𝐊𝐴𝐴 TV live from Sydney, and this is the last show of the day, The Last Trade. Moving on now, let us look at the ASX stocks which created the buzz today. Looking at the first company, Vulcan Mining and Minerals made a strong debut on the ASX today, rising as much as 77.5%, reaching 32.5 cents. The mining exploration company has successfully raised 6.5 million Australian dollars by issuing 32.5 million shares priced at 20 cents each. The company intends to use the funds proceeds for exploration on its Serbian assets, with a focus on the 𝐕𝐢𝐝𝐻 project located in Serbia. And let us now look at the next company. Shares of telecom operator Macquarie Telecom Group gained as much as 11% to hit a record high of $61.25 Australian. The stock was trading higher for the 7th consecutive session, and the company stated it had filed applications to build the largest data centre at the Macquarie Park Data Centre campus within the Sydney North Zone, called IC3 Super West. The company was in the process of obtaining planning consents, expected in early 2022. Macquarie Telecom hopes to complete the construction of Phase 1 of IC3 Super West in the second half of 2023. And let's move on now to the next share that made the news. Mining explorer Lachlan Star saw its shares extending gains to nearly 7%, reaching 4.6 cents. The company has provided an update on encouraging results from the recent geochemical sampling at the 𝐊𝐴𝐺𝐻 copper-nickel PGE project on Wednesday. The project is in the joint venture with Liontown Resources. Let us now take a look at the next company in the news today. Tech firm DOTS Nano was down 1.5% to 33 cents despite signing a DOTS test kits distribution agreement with United Arab Emirates-based 𝐊𝐴𝐺𝐻𝐿𝐼NK. The company has entered into a distribution agreement with United Arab Emirates-based 𝐊𝐴𝐺𝐻𝐿INK's International General Trading LLC for its COVID-19 detection technology, the DOTS test kits. Moving on now to the next company. Shares of Coal Explorer Cockle climbed as much as 26% to 7.7 cents on securing funds for Indonesian project. The company has signed an agreement with its 60% owned subsidiary and owner of the BBM project, PT Bumi Barito Mineral. In addition, BBM has agreed to fund capital participation in international coal marketing via the agreement. And as per the company, this agreement fully funds the BBE coal project. In addition, it allows the company to progress into production and generate cash flows from BBM. Let's move on to the next now. Drug maker AFT Pharmaceuticals shares dropped over 1%, pairing early gains. The pharma company had received regulatory approval for 𝐊𝐴𝐺𝐻 oral liquid. The drug maker said it had successfully obtained its first regulatory approval for 𝐊𝐴𝐺𝐻 oral liquid. And now, before we look at the ASX listed shares that were in the news today, it's time for a short break. Crypto talk by 𝐊𝐴𝐺𝐻. The crypto market has been red hot given the Bitcoin rally since the past year. And now the most famous cryptocurrency has got competitors, Dogecoin and Ethereum. If the crypto market excites you, tune in with me, Sage, to know the latest developments about the existing digital currencies and the new ones that are joining the race. I'll help you understand the opportunities and the risks the crypto market has in store for you. For all the digital currency related developments, continue watching Crypto Talk by 𝐊𝐴𝐺𝐻. Welcome back, viewers. Thanks for joining us, and I am Sage. You're watching 𝐊𝐴𝐺𝐻 TV live from the Sydney studio, and this is the last show of the day, the last trade. Let's now take a look at the next company on the list today. The shares of Bluebet Holdings gained as much as 7.6% to $1.77 Australian after the gambling services provider entered into an agreement with a US-based firm. The company shared it had signed a partnership agreement with Iowa-based licensed wagering operator Dubuque Racing Association. The agreement allows Bluebet Holdings to conduct its online sportsbook operations in Iowa in the United States. It is an extension of the existing casino license. The deal is for an initial term of 5 years and will automatically get renewed for a further 5 years. Let's move on now to the next. The share price of Hexima shares were trading flat at 16 cents after biotechnology company had secured a European patent, and the company will receive a European patent covering the use of its product, pezadeftide, for the treatment of onychomycosis today. And moving on now to the next ASX listed share, AVZ Minerals. The Mineral Explorer reported that it had completed the upgradation of the JORC estimate for its mononolithium and tin project. The JORC code is the Australasian code for reporting of exploration results, mineral resources and ore reserves. The project will now transition into the development phase. And moving on to the last ASX listed company in our list today. PYC Therapeutics, a biotechnology company, announced today that it had entered into the next phase of preclinical development for its product VP001. The product is a lead candidate for its treatment of retinitis pigmentosa type 11. And in the final leg of our show, we'll focus on the global equity markets performance. The Asian shares remained under stress on Wednesday, tracking the weak cues from Wall Street. Investors turned cautious after the data showed the biggest jump in the US inflation in 13 years. It raised fears that the Federal Reserve could exit pandemic era stimulus earlier than expected. And China's Shanghai Composite was the worst performer in the region, falling over 0.8%. Japan's fell 0.3%, while Hong Kong's Hang Seng slipped 0.6%. In a similar trend, Singapore's Straits Times was down 0.3%, while Taiwan's weighted stock traded marginally lower, and meanwhile Seoul's Kospi declined 0.4%, while India's BSE Sensex opened flat, tracking weak global cues. And in the overnight trade, Wall Street finished lower amid renewed worries about the interest rate hike following the spike in inflation. The Dow Jones dropped 0.31%, while the S&P 500 fell 0.35%. The Nasdaq Composite closed 0.38% lower. And thanks for joining us on our live reports today. That is all for now in the last trade. And with our existing operations in Australia, New Zealand, UK and Canada, 𝐊𝐶𝐞 Media has launched its operations in the US markets. Every day in our first show, the Global Market Updates, you can get the latest and important news of the US and the UK markets from the overnight happenings. So on that note, we shall see you tomorrow as close as possible to 10 a.m. Sydney time. This is Sage signing off.